All right, today we're going to take a look at the chimney here. We had a scare last night where we had possibly a blockage in the chimney or something else. This is all creosote that shot out, melted the snow, as you can see, and we had a massive backdraft into the house. And we're going to open it up to take a peek, see if there's a blockage in there, see what might have happened. Because so far this year we've only put about maybe a cord and a half of really dry wood in there through the wood stove without any issue. We already cleaned this back in October, and here we are in February. So we'll take a peek, see if we can find the source of this, and we'll take a look at some of the tools we're going to use. So here's some of the tools that we're going to be using to clean the chimney today. First, we have your standard Rutland chimney extension rods here. I only have one pack of these, and there's 6 3-foot extensions. So I've got 18 feet here, along with our poly rod to clean the stack itself. The stack's a 6-inch diameter. So we've got that. I still have it connected here from October, and I just threw some tape on it to gonna get some more on there just to make sure it didn't spin off when we're running it up and down through the stack. Now, this is a relatively new thing for me here, because previously I had these guys here. These are 12-foot lengths of plastic conduit that I used, and I'll get a shot down here to show you. I saw this online. This is a neat little way to do it, because these pieces are ultra cheap. These are only like $1.12 or so a piece at your local Home Depot. It's just really cheap to put these together. So I got some stainless nuts and bolts here to get these pieces locked on here, and then see if I can get this here, the end where we screw in the brush into. And then these ends here, you drill through. Once you get them connected, you drill through so that you can link them up together. And you just stuff one up the stack at a time. And you just keep running them up until you connect the next one and next one. And again, this thing maybe cost 12 or 15 bucks round trip to make. It was dirt cheap. I got this little piece here as well, a couple feet that I used to clean the inside pipes. And again, we just have this piece there. We screw on and get the brush in there. So one of the issues I found with that one though is that I do have a bend in the stack that you probably saw in the initial part of the video. You'll see again later. And it was hard to get through there. These ends here, these ends would get bound up a little bit on there, but it actually worked out quite well compared to the Rutland extensions. These guys flex quite a bit, and as we start cleaning, you're going to see where those issues come to play. Those things will whack the side of the chimney where the conduit doesn't usually do that. So I'm going to grab a ladder, get these outside. I've got my helper here with me today. My son is going to help do some videoing here with me. He's a prolific YouTuber himself and has his own channel, and so we're gonna work together on this and see if we can make this work. All right, so I hate doing this job, first of all, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna tape the garbage bag at the base of the stack here so that we can get most of the ash creosote that's gonna come down. But we have 2 tabs here that we're just, it's very simple. We're going to spin these off the bottom and pull the cap out, the access cap, and that's a bunch of junk's going to come falling out. So I'd kind of like to get this up there first, just to make sure it doesn't fall everywhere, and then that's going to give us our first glimpse in there, see if we can see what's going on, and then we'll run the brushes up through. All right, now these tabs here are they get a little rusty out here, so here we go. There's a bolt head up top. There's the wing nut on the bottom. Spin these down so just enough so we can get them out of the way. Again, on this one there's only 2. Yours might be different. All right, so I just stuffed the trash bag up behind there real quick, and it's cold out. The duct tape doesn't really want to stick on here, but we don't need to make it look pretty or make it permanent by any means. We're just trying to make it so we're stopping some of the mess that's going to come pouring out of here. Again, I hate doing this job. It's always a mess the first few times I've done it. I had creosote all throughout my hair and ears and eyes, and it's just a mess. My brother actually showed me this little trick because I was an idiot and just dumped it all over the side of the house. But one of his buddies showed him this. That's probably general practice out there in the world that I was ignorant to. Here we go. So again, we're just going to have this here. Afterwards, after we get this open, we're going to tape this up here so we have it completely closed off, but we're going to poke our brush up through here so we can just run it up and down, and it will prevent most of the junk from coming out. But now that we got this here, let's pull the cap and see what comes down. Don't forget your eye protection. It's I found it's critical. If you don't have just regular old glasses like this, I would recommend goggles or something. All right. Oh, there we go. There's a little more in there than we should probably have for the amount of burning that we've done. And everything that we've burned this year, it's either been biobrick type stuff or really well seasoned oak and whatnot. So here's what that looks like there, base of that. It's not horrendous, but a little more came out of there than I was expecting. So I'm not sure if you can get a shot up into the stack here, but we'll see. We'll grab a flashlight and take a peek and see if we can see what's going on in the elbow into the house here as well. So that'll be next. All right, so we can see some buildup in there. It's nothing horrendous, and I didn't look straight up there yet. I was just looking into the house because last night when this was backdrafting, that the inner stack, I have a thermometer in there, and it was registering 1,000 degrees. So it was way too hot, or well, it was awfully hot, and something was blocking it. It very well could have been just from. I'm going to try to get up in there. Actually, well, those walls are looking really quite clean. Nonetheless, we're going to run the brush up through, see what's going on. Maybe there could be a blockage up in the bend, because if you look up there, we have going around the soffit, we have that bend there, and that's where the brushes get hung up. We're going to run it up there anyway, just to see, because it very well could have been that the stack was really cold. It wasn't ultra cold, it was about high 20s last night, so I got the fire roaring immediately there, so that might have been the problem. Could have gotten it too hot too fast. It didn't draft correctly, so it just flooded into the house. But next up, we're going to move on to running the brush up through. All right, so we got the bag in there. I got the brush through the bag. A little bit might be coming out here once we get this going. But make sure your rods are screwed together tightly, because you don't want these falling off in there. I mean, there's enough threads on them where you're not going to have that issue. But we're just going to slowly go up. I like to just take this up and down a little bit as I go. But I can already feel it. That's honestly quite clean here at these lower levels. There's not a whole lot going on, which is good. Makes me think that it was just me being an idiot and getting that fire roaring way too fast before the flue had a chance to heat up. Because the thing is, this is about, well, I can't remember exactly what we got on this. I think it's something like 27 feet to the ground. That's including the pipes inside, right from the wood stove. that's actually feels fairly clean, which is good, but there's a ton of stuff still coming down. It's probably better be safe than sorry to do this. It's only in the 20s here today, but I've done it out here, and first year we had the wood stove. It was about 12 degrees. We're doing it in February, but that was because we really needed to do it. We had some major issues. There was a screen at the top of the chimney that was completely covered in creosote, and it was a screen to prevent birds and animals from going in. We actually had a chimney sweep come up for that and cut that off because that thing was a disaster. It was almost completely blocking the draft, and he cut that off, pulled it out of here for us. We haven't had one on there since, and haven't had any issues since until last night. So I can feel that we're hitting the bend up here, and this is where these honestly they kind of suck, because you can see how much it flexes just when I give it a little bit of push here, whereas the longer conduit pieces we have don't do that at all. I'm going to put the conduit on the end of that rod once we get up there, because that's the only way I can reach the top. But it's going to be a bit of a struggle here getting through this bend, as you'll see. There we go. There's the first one. That's coming down to my face. There we go. There's the second one. As you can see, that kind of sucks. And with the long conduits, they go through, honestly, they go through a little easier because they're more stiff. But that's also problematic because as they're going through the bend, it's a lot tighter. And when you hit the points where they connect, you're only going to have, I think, one, at least on this stack, where they connect. It binds up in there, and it's that's trouble. So I'm going to slide this up, and then I'm going to need a helping hand getting our 12-foot piece on here, because we need to bend it out along the base to get it up, and then we'll have the rest of this thing up. That's honestly, from my experience anyway, that's not too bad for this chimney. That's I would say it's probably half a season's worth, which is about where we're at right now. All right. So now we're going to twist on our piece of conduit here. Hopefully we can do it without too much issue. This is kind of a pain. There we go. Because as you see, this thing has some length to it. I believe these are 12-footers. There we go. That's all of it. So if you can just pull back out here straight behind us, we're going to start pushing this up through. So just keep that bend in it there, because I'm going to push it straight up like this. And there we go. I've marked this off here in our previous attempts to show where we're going to be at the top, because we don't want to be knocking the cap off. That's going up nice and smooth. There we go. So we're good. Whoa! All right. So there's the problem right there. We got a lot coming out. Actually, I don't think I'm at the top of it, am I? Yeah. Those are thick chunks of creosote up there. Buddy, can you step back, go back over there and take a peek, see if you can see the top, and see if we can see. You might have to go back even further over there. Can you see the top at all? Because you might be able to see the brush up there. Okay. It sounds like I'm hitting the top. Here, you want to lightly push it up and down? Because I thought for sure I marked this up there.
It sounds like you're hitting the top from back,
Okay.
from back there.
So come on over and grab this with me so you can feel it. So you see, don't push it harder than that because that's right at the cap. We don't want to knock the cap off. Okay. So here, hold it up a little bit higher so it doesn't bend as much. I'm going to take a peek from back here and see what I can see. Yeah, it certainly sounds like it's right up at the top. All right, that's good. So what we'll do is we'll start pulling this back down. Okay. So I'm just. You all right?
Okay, too.
Okay. So I'm going to start pulling this back down. You want to grab that end? I'm just going to go up and down lightly like this. So the reason why, so pull that flat out, like lift it up. There you go. There we go. The reason why all that creosote's up there at the top is that's the coldest point. Where is that coming from? Oh, that's stuff on the cap. And unfortunately, we're bound up a little bit here. So, there we go. There we go. Okay, so let's spin this off if we can. Actually, it's not. It doesn't want to come off right now, so you just keep walking back with it, and then we'll pull it off after. There we go. Through the bend. Nice. Keep going. Just keep walking it right back. This will come right down. Hold on a sec. Hold on just a second. All right. There we go. Stop. We're right at the end. So again, it's the coldest part of the chimney. And that's why there's all that buildup up there. And those pieces that were coming down were on the cap itself. And when that was banging and shaking the pipe for the stack, those chunks were coming off there. That's something where I personally don't think it's going to get hot enough up there to catch fire, but it's not something that I want to keep having up there very long. We should probably get that cleaned up. All right, so now I'm going to try to pull this out without getting too much of a mess here. There we go. So here's what we got in the bag. See if we can see what's in there. You know, that's again, yep, there we go. You can see all the creosote there. And I don't do this for a living or anything, so I don't know for sure, but that doesn't seem like a ton to me for a stack, which is it's something like, I don't know what it is out here. It's 18. It's a little more than 18 feet because we can't. I mean, we get all 18 feet of the rods in there, plus half of that. So I mean, we probably got 22 feet out here. That doesn't seem like a tremendous amount. If any of you out there in YouTube world know if that looks normal for this size stack. And again, that was only about 1.5 cords that we put through so far this year. And there's no blockage. I'm assuming it was our issue here was due exclusively to a cold stack. The thing had to have been in the mid to high 20s. While I got the fire roaring inside, must have been building up, not drawing, going out the top. And then once that built up to a temperature that was high enough, it must have, I'm assuming, drafted rapidly, shot this stuff out. This was probably extremely hot from the lower portions of the chimney. Probably shot out and created this environment, which fortunately we had some snow on the ground, because I'm sure on the roof, there's still snow on the back of the roof here. The house is nicely insulated. So I'm sure there's some up there as well that shot out there, and we're lucky that it wasn't too hot to catch fire. So that is just a quick demonstration of us doing the nasty job of cleaning the chimney here. I hate doing this. I do it at least once a year. With an experience like this, we should probably be doing it twice. And hopefully, if it provides a little bit of information for you, help somebody out there if you run into this situation as well. Thanks for watching. Take care.